Today we're talking about find your superpower in what you love as a child and unravel your purpose. When we talk about purpose, we often look forward asking, what should I do next? But sometimes the answer is behind us. It's hidden in the things we love as children, the traits that made us unique, even if they weren't always celebrated. Steve Jobs once said this during his 2005 Stanford commencement address, one of the most quoted lines in the modern creative and entrepreneurial circles. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. He used it to explain how dropping out of college led him to take a calligraphy class that later shaped the typography of the first Macintosh. Proof that purpose often reveals itself only in hindsight. From this quote, let us find in each of us the unique innate abilities that you are gifted and born with. Every person carries innate abilities, the one that shows up effortlessly in childhood. These gifts often go dormant when life demands practicality, but never disappeared. Rediscovery means noticing the moments when you feel most energized, at ease, or in flow. Those are the clues pointing back to your original design. Ask yourself, what activities make time feel suspended? What compliments or feedback have followed you through life and it comes up again and again? What do people naturally seek our help or advice for? These patterns reveal talents that have been quietly shaping your path all along. When I was little, I was called the talkative child. I loved asking questions, greeting people, chatting with anyone who would listen, greeting neighbors, talking to people in the market or shops. In school, my teachers wrote that I was active and talkative. But in a culture where children were expected to be seen and not heard, that wasn't always seen as a good thing. Still, that curiosity and energy never left me. It became the foundation of everything I do today. As a journalist, writer, communicator, and now as someone who shares ideas and stories to inspire others. What once felt like too much was actually my superpower. My father, wise beyond time, never frowned upon my talkative nature. My second grade report card read active and talkative. He didn't see it as a flaw. He saw it as potential. He told me communications is a skill that needs to be harnessed. Those words stayed with me. Years later, I chose mass communication in college, and every time I write or create content, it feels like coming home to that truth. It's natural, effortless, and the same spark that began with a curious little girl who loved to talk. Looking back, I realized that moment wasn't just about a report card. It was a seed planted in wisdom. My father's words turned what others saw as a chatter into a lifelong calling. Every time I write, speak, or create, I'm reminded that communication was never just a subject I studied. It was a language of my soul finding its way home. Over time, I realized my purpose as a communicator wasn't just about speaking or writing. It was about bridging gaps. My superpower was the ability to take complex, difficult to understand topics and translate them into simple, relatable, and digestible ideas. It's a gift of clarity, turning big concepts into everyday language that connects and empowers. Whether through storytelling, teaching, or creating content, I found joy in helping others see what once felt uncomprehendable, unreachable. That's when I understood communication wasn't just my talent. It was my way of serving. It was my light and shining it so others could understand and find clarity. And I've seen this pattern repeat itself over and over again. The traits that we carry as children often become guiding lights for our future. One young boy who loved working with his hands in an automobile workshop grew into a brilliant engineer, transforming businesses from old ways to new. A child who spent hours doodling and sketching now thrives in a world of artificial intelligence, designing systems that think creatively. Another child who loved reading, writing, and speaking shines today as a teacher, lighting the path for others. There are countless examples like this, reminders that the gifts we are born with are not random. They're clues to our purpose. So take a moment to rediscover the innate abilities you were gifted with. And everybody has those innate gifts, natural gifts. They might just be the light the world needs right now. So coming back to it, I just want to remind you that your superpower is often something that's been with you all along. It's not something you have to invent. It's not something that you have to. Of course, nurturing what is natural is most important. But you don't have to go look for it. It is already in you. It's something you need to rediscover. It's a part of you that always been alive, even when the world didn't understand it yet. So here's a simple exercise for you to rediscover the gifts and the abilities that you have. Take a moment and write down 3 to 5 things you love doing as a child. Just write it down without any judgment and just write it down freely so that you can then see the patterns and connect the dots. Maybe it was drawing, singing, writing stories, organizing games, helping others, or asking questions. Then ask yourself, would I like to use these gifts in my purpose today? How could these childhood talents guide my next chapter? Because the things that make you light up as a child are often the same things that will light up your purpose now. Let me just give a few steps on the process of uncovering and rediscovering. Reflect backward as a first step. Revisit childhood memories, school reports, or family stories. What traits stood out? Is it, for example, curiosity, empathy, leadership, imagination, being helpful, always wanting to help someone? Number 2 is observe the present. Notice what you do instinctively well now. Even now, how you solve problems, connect with others, express ideas. What do you like to do? What brings you joy? Number 3, connect the dots. Link those early traits to your current passions or career. Often the same energy, simply evolve into new forms. Number 4, reclaim what was misunderstood. Many gifts were labeled as too much, not practical. You can't earn an income from this. Now reframing them as strengths restores confidence and direction. Number 5, practice and integrate. Rediscovering becomes transformation when you start using those gifts intentionally. You can suit it to the environment right now in your work, relationship, and creative expression. Use what was natural, fit it to the environment, and see how it can be used, rediscovered, and bring the light right now to the new environment. That is transformation. The activities we do between ages 0 to 6 are often the most untainted expressions of who we are. Let me explain why. At this stage, school and society haven't yet placed the judgments or labels on us. What we do then, whether building, drawing, singing, or asking endless questions, flows from pure curiosity and instinct. It's the most natural form of what nature has gifted us. Those early sparks are clues to our essence, untouched by expectation. When we revisit them, we reconnect with a part of ourselves that knew joy before comparison, creativity before criticism, and purpose before pressure. Why this matters? When you operate from rediscovered gifts, your actions feel aligned rather than forced. You stop chasing purpose and start living it. This alignment fuels creativity, magnetism, and peace, the kind that people can feel in your presence or your content or your living or your just being. So you don't need, let me emphasize this at the end, you don't need to become someone new to find your purpose. You just need to remember who you've always been. Your superpower isn't waiting to be rediscovered. Your superpower isn't waiting to be discovered, it's waiting to be embraced. You already have it innate in you. Again, think of one thing you did effortlessly as a child, something that made you lose track of time. Now imagine bringing that energy into your adult life and seeing how the environment in the present, how you can use these gifts and talents. How would it change the way you show up? Comment below and share one childhood gift or talents you love to bring back into your life. Let's celebrate the parts of us that were always meant to shine. So take a moment to rediscover the innate abilities you were gifted with. They might just be the light the world needs right now. And if you're wondering where to start, begin with reflection. Think back to things that made you come alive as a child. The activities that felt effortless, the ones that make you lose track of time. Those are clues. So here's a simple exercise. Grab a notebook, open your notes apps, write down 3 to 5 things you love doing as a child. Don't overthink it, just write what feels true. You might be surprised by how those early sparks still guide your purpose today. And if you'd like to share it with me, type in the comment below 3 to 5 things you love doing as a child and see how you can use this for the present environment right now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it helps you, give you a clue. There are many ways to find purpose. One is to look at the childhood memories and find your superpower and gifts there. Please hit the like button, share with someone who's also looking, who's also feeling lost and stuck. You are not lost and stuck, you are just rediscovering your gifts. Share with someone, subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for now, bye.